where I do usually find clients. Do I need to be good at editing to be a social media manager? Best way to grow an account from scratch. Do I need to take a course to be a social media manager? What's the best course? I gather everything, all of the questions that I am receiving to my account on TikTok, on Instagram, or here on YouTube. And right now on this video, I'm going to answer everything. All of your questions will be answered here on this video. Let's start for the first question. How do I start using my cell phone and get a client using cell phone only? And yes, I started my freelancing journey using this cell phone, iPhone SE 2020. And in learning freelancing, I started in watching YouTube's TikToks using this cell phone. I downloaded Upwork in getting clients and apply using this cell phone as well. Hopping on a discovery call with potential clients, I downloaded Zoom on this cell phone as well. And would you believe me that this cell phone is only 128 gig to handle everything that I did as a freelancer or starting freelancing? That's very possible if you just take action. I also close a deal with that client. I edit content using cell phone because I downloaded Canva and CapCut here. And I post content, engage content for my client's account using cell phone as well because I have Instagram here where I can schedule those content, where I also can engage to those target audience. Like everything you can do using cell phone if you will just take action. Nothing is very impossible because you have cell phone and internet. That's why you don't need any laptop, any iPad. As long as you have cell phone, you can do it even if it is difficult. Yes, my journey is very difficult and it's very hard. Nothing is so easy because I only have my phone, but it is very possible. You just have to take action. And next question is, it is okay to become a social media manager at the age of 16? Totally yes. Freelancing is no age. You can become a social media manager. You can enter in freelancing even you are 12. Freelancing really don't have requirement when it comes to age, when it comes to diploma, when it comes to bachelor's degree, when it comes to everything. As long as you can satisfy the client and you have the skills that the client is looking for, that's enough for freelancing. But of course, except to those jobs that really requires bachelor's degree or any. But based on my experience, I started at the age of 22 even though I am not a minor. I also have bachelor's degree. All of the clients that I have encountered is not asking me, how old are you? Are you graduate from this and that? No, they are not asking me. And they are not also asking me any certification, any completion of blah blah blah. No. If you want to become a social media manager or enter in freelancing, start right now, even how old you are, or even you are a dropout student or not graduate in any bachelor's degree. Freelancing is free for everyone. Next question, do I need to take a course to be a social media manager? What's the best course? If you are talking about the online courses, no. I started this freelancing without availing any courses, without availing any training. You don't have to pay any penny to become a social media manager or to enter in freelancing. Just be resourceful and that's it. Me, I am offering coaching session but I don't really want you to join or to avail that session if you will watch all of my videos here on YouTube. Because by just watching all of my videos here in YouTube and of course accessing my free resources that I will link below, you can become a social media manager. So you don't have to avail the coaching session. You just need to take action. And you don't have to avail any courses that's worth $199. That's not the solution in becoming freelancing. There's no best course that I can recommend you because I didn't avail myself to any courses, to any training. That's why I can't recommend any courses, any trainings. Even though I know someone who's offering courses or training, I can't recommend because I haven't tried their courses. I just want to be honest with you guys. Someone wants to collaborate with me and that someone is offering courses. So I said, I can't collaborate with any people if you are offering courses. And if you want to collaborate with me, I want to try your courses. and see if it is worth it. What was my first skill set as a social media manager for my first client? I actually just uploaded my video last week about my first client, the jobs that I did for my first client as a social media manager. Feel free to watch it if you want to learn more. But my first skill set as a social media manager is engaging and editing. Since my first job to my first client is engagement and editing, so that's my first skill set. Because I don't have any choice but to learn those skills because I have that client and I need those skills to my client. That's why engaging and editing. I'm not really good at caption and planning. As someone who's grammatically incorrect, I'm not really good in captioning. And as someone who don't strategize to her first client, I'm not really good in planning. Next question, how to make a beginner-friendly portfolio? Alright, so I actually have video here in YouTube that tackles everything that you can include to your portfolio as a beginner social media manager. But what I can suggest for you if you want to create a portfolio as a social media manager who don't have experience is create a content in Canva, create a makeover or a feed planning that includes the before and after of that potential client and put it to your portfolio, edit content, video, reels, carousel, single post story, put to your portfolio, and as much as possible, handle your own account so that you can include a case studies because if you don't want to work for free to those small business owners or if you don't have client that can handle an exact account, it's very important that you have that case study. That's why handle or create your own account and put it to your portfolio. As a social media manager, even though you are beginner social media manager, it's very important to have that case study. And case study looks like this and this. Or if you want to know more about case study, just go to my Instagram. And I have uploaded a lot of case studies in there. Do I need to create a separate social media account to get clients? For me, mandatory, yes. For me. Because as of the moment, guys, I can tell you honestly, most of my clients or 99% of my clients is from social media. So I started becoming a social media manager, which I also create my own account here on Instagram, on TikTok. But first, when I'm a newbie social media manager, I just started my account in social media on Instagram. And I really want you to create your own account as well if you want to become a social media manager in the long run. But if it is just short term, don't create an account. Don't waste your time in learning social media management. Okay? But to answer the question, yes, I want you to start and create a separate account from your personal social media account on Instagram and get a client in there. But of course, don't just create. Post content, engage with people, engage with target audience, and grow your social media account. To tell you guys, I have lots of accounts on Instagram. I have my dog's account, dump account, personal account, social media account, business account, wholesaling account. That's why I want you to create your own account as a social media manager. It's literally worth it. Proven and tested to those people who avail my coaching session. This is very common question where I do usually find clients. There's a lot of freelancing websites available. You just have to research in Google. But for me, my experience, the best way to find a client is on your social media account. So you will receive this. Yes, a lot of inquiries. You don't have to apply and compete with those other social media managers to that specific job post in Upwork, OLJ. But other than the social media, or if you really are not comfortable showing up in social media, based on my experience, I get most of my clients in Upwork or referrals, which those referrals is from my social media account as well. So I am telling you this because that's my experience. I can't tell any freelancing websites because I haven't tried any except Upwork. Again, I don't recommend if I haven't tried that site. By the way, if you also want to start that social media account as a social media manager, I have video here that will help you on how to get a client in social media? Do I send cover letters when reaching out on Instagram on my social media account? I don't reach out, I don't send cover letters. I just want you to create a quality content that will make people inquire about your social media services. You don't have to do anything. You don't have to do prospecting. You don't have to do reaching out, emailing, or anything. I get most of my clients by receiving inbound leads. This is not to brag, but that's my experience. And I also want you to experience the same thing. So it is easy for you to get a client because you just have to create a quality content. You don't have to post content 3 to 5 times a week. Just create a quality content that will make people curious. How can I work with you? Because you are so good to your content. How can I work with you? Because I love what you're doing. I want you to experience that. And if you want to know what content to post on Instagram, just check my Instagram and feel free to create content that is similar to my content. Just mention me on Instagram as an inspiration. Why I don't charge hourly rates? I don't charge hourly rates because I feel like it is unfair to receive $20 per hour. So for example, my rate is $20 per hour and I create one content within 15 minutes. And do you think it is fair to receive $5 for that one content? No, right? That's why if you are giving the quality service and the best result that they can receive, don't charge hourly rate. Charge in a project basis. Does the client give content or do we create it all? When it comes to content, client don't provide content, they provide assets. What I mean by that, we are the one who's creating content ideas as a social media manager who's offering content creation for client. We are also the one who's planning, we are also the one who's editing, and the client will be the one who's filming and send it to us so we can edit it. And yes, we create everything unless clients want to brainstorm with us when it comes to content ideas. That's actually based on your packages that you are offering, but as someone who's offering content creation for a client, I do everything except the filming. Since I am here in the Philippines and most of my clients is in the United States. What tools I use for scheduling and content calendar? I actually have YouTube video here. What is the best apps and tools as a social media manager? But I use Metricool for scheduling, Canva, CapCut for editing, and Notion for content calendar. Is it better to manually post or schedule on Instagram? Based on my experience and what I really prefer, yes, I think it is better to manually or schedule content on Instagram. It is not totally a manual posting, but you can actually schedule content directly on Instagram feature. You don't have to use Metricool, which is the scheduling tool that I am using, if you are posting on Instagram. Why? Because on Metricool, you can't sync or link the trending audio. What I'm doing, if I have clients that I need to schedule on Instagram, I am using the scheduling feature on Instagram to schedule those content so that I can link the trending audio when uploading the content. What I do use to create caption. When it comes to creating caption, I am not using ChatGPT to generate caption. Yes, mali-mali yung grammar ko and I am always grammatically incorrect. That's why I only use ChatGPT to check grammar and sentence structure, and that's it. I am using my mind, my brain to create caption for my client. How do I do that? I have to know the business of the client so well so that I can create caption even though it is in Tagalog or grammatically correct, and I will have ChatGPT to translate that in more grammatically correct way and sentence structured way. Do I need to be good at editing to be a social media manager? No, definitely no. When I starting social media manager, I really don't know what CapCut is. The client's the one who introduced CapCut to me. I use Canva templates or video templates on Canva to edit video for my first client. You don't need to be good at editing in becoming a social media manager. You can learn editing throughout the process. I just learned editing by watching YouTube and TikTok how to do the editing. And you can literally do that even you have clients. And as you can see in social media, it does not have to be good editing. As long as you can do the overlay text on screen, link and audio, that's it. What to do if the client doesn't give photos or videos? This is very common scenario that social media manager is doing. So what I'm doing for my client, during the discovery call, I ask client, are you comfortable filming content and give it to me so I can edit it? The client said, I will try, but I can say yes and I can say no. But if that's the case, I am telling to the client, okay, you can't expect me to bring good results if you don't have content to give me to edit. I can create you a content, I can edit you a content as long as you can give me the content that I need for me to edit. And it's very important for us to set that so the client know what to expect if they don't provide content. Difference between content strategy, content planning, and content calendar. There you go. I have content or YouTube content that will explain deeper about those three. Here's the content planning, content strategy, and the content calendar. Feel free to watch those videos for you to learn the differences of those three. But on this video, I will explain to you that the content planning is where we plan those content ideas we gather in a content calendar. In a content calendar, I use Notion to create a content calendar with a client, which I share it with client to brainstorm those content ideas I gathered and I planned. So we can monitor those content ideas if it is okay with the client or if it is not, or what is the status of that content idea. Is it ready for approval? Is it for revision? In a content calendar where we can see the status or monitor the content ideas we planned using the content calendar. And in content planning, where we plan each content ideas we gather on each week or on each day we want to post it. While in the content strategy, it is where we create content pillars so we know what content to produce and what content is working and what content is not. It is really important for us to have that content strategy for us to achieve the social media goals of the client, because we have to align all of the content ideas we gather to those social media goals. And for us to achieve that social media goals, we need the content strategy. And if you want to know more about content strategy, I have YouTube video, feel free to watch it. This question is really the most asked question. Best way to grow an account from scratch. Do the market research. I also have video here that explain how to do the market research. It is also a way for us to get to know the business of the client, the target audience, the competitor, and create content that is very relevant to the business of the client that will make people achieve the goal of your client's social media. First, you need to do the market research, create content or plan content, post that content, engage with your audience, and make sure that you have optimized profile. Those are the ways to grow an account. I can't say it is the best way, but those are the ways that I am doing to grow my client's account, especially if it is from scratch account. I actually created a series or a playlist on TikTok on how I create an account from scratch. It is a dog account that I did create on Instagram, and create a playlist on how I grow it, what strategies I use. Feel free to watch that playlist. It is in here on my TikTok account, and I want you to learn every step of what I did for you to know and to learn how to grow an account from scratch. Does engagement matter across all platforms? Definitely yes. Engagement is very important, especially if you are a social media manager. Our goal as a social media manager is to create or increase the engagement of our clients. So engagement, those are the comments, the likes, the views. And we can't literally grow a client's account without those engagement. So how do we do engagement? Make sure that you reply to those people who's commenting to your client's content, and also comment to those target audience, so that target audience will have an awareness that this client is existing. And also reply to those story and build relationship to those target audience of your client. Do hashtags still matter? It depends on what platform. So this is just my knowledge or experience from what I know about hashtags. On Instagram, hashtags don't matter anymore on Instagram. But on TikTok, yes, hashtag is important because your content will show up to those people who are interested to your content using the keywords that you are using in the hashtags. But on Instagram algorithm just changed and hashtag doesn't matter anymore and it doesn't help to increase your views on Instagram. I don't know about Facebook and any other platform because I don't offer those platforms, but I want you to do some research before using hashtags. What should I do first when rebranding a client account? So same thing in growing an account from scratch. Do the market research, optimize the account, plan contents, create content, schedule that content, and engage with your audience. It is also the same thing. It's just that the difference of rebranding, you need to archive or to change the bio and archive those content that is not relevant to the account that you are creating or rebranding for. Is it okay to avail the boosting subscription on Instagram if we are talking about the bots or increasing the followers in an instant? No, I really don't suggest for you to avail that boosting subscription. Why? Because fake engagement is a violation on any community guidelines. If you don't want your account be disabled on any platform, don't avail that boosting subscription. Do we need to use VPN on IG, TikTok, and FB? Based on my experience, you don't need to use VPN. And I am not using any VPN. Before, yes. But on Instagram, I am not using VPN because Instagram algorithm doesn't need any VPN for you to handle your client's account. On TikTok, VPN is not working, but it is very important that you don't have to access your client's account on TikTok because TikTok is geographically based. Kung nasaan ka, doon magpupush yung content ng client mo. That's why, even though you are using VPN, hindi pa din siya magwo-work. That's why what I'm doing for my clients on TikTok is I will let the client upload the content that I am editing and let the client do the engagement as well. I am the one who's strategizing the content, monitoring the analytics, editing the content, creating the caption, and let the client posting it and engaging to that TikTok account. While on Instagram, it doesn't matter where you are as long as you are creating or you have a strategy in creating content. And that's all the questions that I have gathered. And if there are questions that you have and doesn't tackle on this video, just let me know in the comment section and I'm happy to answer everything. And feel free to connect with me on Instagram, on TikTok, and I will see you on my next video. Bye-bye.